Okay, in the video before this one, I was having some trouble with a piece of code, but it turns out that I forgot to do something. Two things actually. Let me double check something here. When I created the call using the Pixel Game engine, I have to do this from the thread that the Pixel Game calls. So just change that. So when I render, I check if the call is null pointer, then I create it. So it's working now. I just have to figure out how I'm going to manage a few things. For instance, the how to call this, the mask where the object is being drawn. Sorry for the loud noise. Let me reduce volume here. So you can see that it's almost working. It's just going a bit overboard here, so I have to move it a bit to the left and figure out which code I'm going to use for masking. Because when I draw it, you can see that it's perfectly drawn there because I'm drawing these areas on top. But if the object has to draw alone without being draw everything, it's going to draw on top of everything. So I still need to create a mask for that. So I think I'm going to do that prior to continuing. So there are two ways I can do that. One is to actually draw the top overlay because I have two overlays files. Let's open its files. Can have a look at it. See, Wusik Station skins cached. I have layer A and B. So layer A is everything that goes on the background, and B what goes on the top. So the idea here is that the top is going to cut the areas of the bottom because it's overlapping. Then it solves the problem, but not entirely because we still have here on the bottom the areas that goes to a portion that has nothing on top. There's nothing on top in here, this area. So it doesn't draw on top of it. And the same goes for the areas here on this area here. Those are also custom elements. The sample player and the drawable oscillator and the audio looper. And on the right, there is nothing that goes on the top too. So that's a bit of a problem. So there are two ways to resolve this. First, combine these two files into one and have just one layer all. And then have the custom elements needing its own mask file. It's not hard to do, it just have to be done and takes a bit of extra work, but should be okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a copy of everything before I start messing up the files in case I don't like the result. I can always come back. So I'm going to make a copy of the source files and then a copy of my skin files. So I have two files, the skin sources and the skins target. I'm going to make a copy of that. Just a minute. So I have created my two copies to upload to the server. Be very quick. And I'm going to take a quick look in the interface if there's any other thing that overlaps that requires the separate two files. So from what I could understand is really just the custom elements, like here the graphic envelope. So I can indeed get rid of the two files, have just one file. That's going to save a bit of memory, but actually a lot of memory because the file is very large. And then I'm just going to have the element of the masking. Then I can just make like left and right mask. So don't make a large file because it's really not needed. Just need a file from here to here, and then from here to here. Well, you will see. It's going to work. Let's let's go back. Don't do this in here. I actually do this in the actual file. This file. I'm going to redo this. All the files. Move the skips. So now I have the layer all A. It's going to be just layer all. And here I'm going to put reserved. So I can use for the next thing. Probably it's going to be the mask. This is not in order because it's being created as I go. And it doesn't need to be in order because it's just done one time when you create a new skin. So it's not really a big deal. So I can remove these here. And I can draw these guys on top of everything. It's going to be my layer B. Then I remove all references from A and B. A, layer all. I'm going to have all the layers in it. And it should be okay. Now I have to remove the files. Files not, no. The, the references. So I'm going to go here first. Wusik Station X. I'm going to delete my cached folder just in case. I'm going to double check my sources folder, but it seems to be okay. I will remove these SPP files. I'm going to clean this up when I'm ready. Maybe I'm going to include just a few ones. So now I have to find this guy here. All the time it gets used. I'm going to look for A and B. Okay, there is no B anymore. So now I can clear top B. No longer need that one. Should be this. And the same goes for the sound generators. Then take a look in here. Create this previous one. Oh, that's hard to say. And should not need it anymore. So going to be layer all. Okay. I haven't changed the one. Yes, I forgot to change it. Going to be layer all now. No longer be over a dimps layer all. Okay, it's correct. A N O B A A hey. Here's oh. You know, let's see if I didn't mess up something before I continue. But should not be a problem. Now I'm just putting all the layer all in the right order in one file. Should be okay. Need to take a bit of a time to process. Let me take some water. There's many files to process the scheme to create the cached files, which are fewer files. Okay, it looks okay because, as I said, there is no overlapping. What? Oh crap. Okay, I forgot something. Looks like. Oh, the oscilloscope is not showing up anymore. I wonder why. But there's one problem that I can't see. The overlay is not working. It's not working. Either remove it without the need to remove. Let's see here. Oh, here, the overlay. I remove it. So let's put it back. Global master, we don't need it. Not global master file. Put the overlay file on top. A. Here's the B. Sound generators, you don't need it. Okay, that should do it. That still doesn't explain why it disappeared my other guy. I'll figure out. Maybe because he's in idle mode. I don't know. Okay, so now it's working correctly here. That's why I always test things little by little. Oh, look. Forgot something in here too. But what? Let's go again. The layers, the components, and then the bottom. Global master draws the bottom, but I don't need this because I also have this on the top. What's what I'm missing? Not. Then I can draw first thing. Then I have the sound generators, which I need to compute the positioning. Otherwise, I actually don't need that. I can just go put the positioning back to where it was. But this top layer, okay, let's see. There's just one thing that I have to think about because this top layer doesn't always show, so it doesn't need to be drawn every time. But I'm going to worry about that later on. Okay, seems to be correct now. Oh, here it's showing again. One thing I want to test now is how much CPU it's using. Show the oscilloscope, which updates much faster compared to the other elements. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to make some noise again. Oh, it's not so bad, I guess. Let's wait until it goes into idle mode. Spikes in the memory of the CPU, of the GPU. But apart from that, seems to be okay. If I put this away, it doesn't process anymore. You can see that the compute here goes almost to zero. I move it very fast, goes crazy because it's redrawing the interface very fast. So it's a very smooth movement. Okay, the GPU usage, not so bad. Put away again from 24% to 18%. Move it up. Why? Well, because I'm using the stream program is also using the GPU. From what I could understand, it does. Let's see. Streamlabs, view engine shows 0 here. Oh no, 30%, 40%. Yeah, it's using a lot. A lot of memory too. Okay, so this works. It's good. I just have to mask and then move it just a bit to the left actually. I could leave it like that, but I don't like it. So let's see, just let me put this back to 0. And I'm going to open the editor of the positionings of the skin file. So now I can reposition that and see what it looks like. Still messing up a bit. How to say that? Should be drawing there. Should be redrawing the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to take a look at that first. Check why it's doing that. You can see that it's leaving something behind. If I redraw, which redraws the whole thing, goes away. Could be, let me check the size of the oscilloscope size here. Could be that this size is not right. So let me check what's the correct size. Oscilloscope. Here I determinate the size. So it's going to be, yeah, it's different. So it could be the problem is that. So let's save this and check it out again. I'm checking on Reaper so I can use the keyboard play it, so I don't have to turn on my MIDI keyboard. I'm just lazy. Oh, there you go. Now it's redrawing correctly, and I can see the positioning of it. I can move it a bit. For this situation, I could live like that without having to worry about masking. But to be honest, I don't want to. I want to make it look correct. Otherwise, it's going to. I don't know. I don't like the. So, first thing I'm going to do is actually measure the correct size. Before I continue, just to be sure that the size is the same as the area, because I didn't measure it very correctly. Just measured from the top of my head. Open the file, skin files again. Okay, it's down on the bottom. Zoom in as maximum as I can. I'm going to try to cut it, and then I'm going to keep cutting until I have just the area. I'm impressed that it didn't crash because it's a very large file. So, okay, start here, there, and there. Drop to the selection. Then I can go from the bottom here. And it should be around here. Here and So always does that. It leaves a blank line there for whatever reason. Dump connect. Try to crop again. He always does that. I don't know why. And even worse. Well, there are some programs that just mess things up. There is no perfect program. Oh, come on. Whatever, dude. Okay, on the bottom. Go figure. Why does that? I don't know. But oh, and it's not undoing anymore. Sorry about that. I'm going to do it in a different way. Let's see the size. 638. Okay. Minus 5 pixels. Not 6. Should be 5 pixels. 633. 633. And on the bottom, we remove. Should. And 7 pixels? What? It's 334. 7, 3, 7. So those are the actual sizes that I should be using for the object, custom element at least. Okay, let's see. And then I'm going to create a mask for it. There we are. We have oscilloscope there. It's a bit to the left. It's just by the line that needs to go to the right a bit. Enable moving here again. Then I can open it. I can close. Like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 pixels. Looks okay. I'm going to take a print screen and take a look at what it looks like very closely, just in case. So yeah, it's spot on. Maybe just 1 pixel missing here on the side, but it's not a big deal. Okay, I think that's good. That looks good. So okay, then the next step is to create the actual masking of this. For that, I'm not going to use this file. Use the files I created for in the skin sources. So it should be one of the layers all file. Has yes, this is the mask information I want to use. Can see that it's going the bottom a bit, but well, it's not a big deal. What I'm going to do is create a file from this guy, put in the right size. It's 635 if I'm mistaken. No, 633, 63, 327. Yeah, stop doing that. I'm trying to put a number. 327. 327, 633. And we move this to the right place, which should be here. So this should be the masking, which are going to need to fill black. And I have to remove the transparency, so that's not good. We'll go this. Create a new layer, fill it with black. Okay, I have to clear it, fill it, select, invert. Hey, why didn't you? Come on, man. Not inverting. Word selection. Ah, that's not nice. Okay. What's going on? Why it's not deleting it completely? I bet there's some setting that I'm not seeing. But anyway, looks okay. See if there's something here. Oh, empty. So this is going to go into memory. But I think I can improve this. As in, instead of all this area here, what I could do, let me check. Looks correct. So I can remove this guy. Can I actually put incline going to be where it ends one section and starts the other ones from the left to the right. So I can keep one file without having to create two files separated from each other. I don't want. Here is the one line. And I just get this guy here and move it. Cut it, hold it shift. Go from the bottom actually. Okay, now we have a file. Let's reduce this by here. looks okay. I'm just going to remove a few pixels. But 2 pixels there. 1 pixel. So just go to image canvas, put it on the left, and change the width to 161. And Bob's your uncle. There you go. Can also remove from the bottom because it's not going to be needed. Because this is 327. My height there is 327. Not good. Actually need to remove all these here. Let's paint that black. Not black. Okay. I'm probably sure that I'm going to need to adjust this a bit. It's probably something wrong in some areas. And then let me save a preview of this. I'm going to call this oscilloscope mask. Yeah, that's a nice name. And I could invert now this adjust negative image. No, it's not. I have to actually paint the center area white. So no tolerance at all. Oh, come on, man. It's doing like that. Because I wanted to have the. We close this file and open up and see if that fixes the problem. No, it's not fixing anything. Just weird. Tolerance 0. It's not detecting. Why is that? I'm going to figure something out eventually, but it looks silly. Let me try to export this. Okay, it's okay. I'm going to export this oscilloscope mask. Open this and see if it's correct. Yeah, it looks correct. Black line there. I want it to be white in the middle. It's still doing that. Edge. Doing that. Edit. That's a bit of a mess, if you ask me. Well, let me try to see what the code of the image loading will look like. So, please I know it's loading correctly. These are don't load from the cached file. So let me. How could I load this up? Because I have two folders: the skin folders, which are global files, and then the cached files, which are files that were processed. Processing here. Does it go to the cached folder? This guy. Yes, it goes. Code source. Oh, I have some loading source here. Load PNG source file overlay. I'm thinking that I could just. Well, first, I need to create some variables to hold my files. Is the here? I need to create because it's not going to be in a pixel engine format. It's going to be in juice format instead. So I can go like image, not exactly here, but on the data files. See where I created the. Okay, those are the right files. Sprite PNG files. I know what it is. So those are the ones that goes into the GPU. Now as I also want PNG mask files. So go like mask so scope 0 to 0 and total mask. Then I can create an array for that. There is guy here. So now I have my mask image that's going to be loaded. And this is going to be done around here, I guess. User update. Oh no, I can load this from the data files actually. Settings, after that, after the skin load. After files here. Load files. Mask image. Oscilloscope. What's the code to load an image again? Forgot. Come on, where is it? Load image. Image. The image name. Image source. What's the name of the file I created? Oscilloscope mask. Oscilloscope mask. It's complaining. Oh, I have to create a file for this. Oh, have to get the file path. Okay, that's not a problem. So it should load up. Very small file, so it should be okay. Now I have to create a mask call. First thing I have to do is pass this mask file into my constructor. So image mask, pass a pointer so I don't waste memory. Because if I don't pass a pointer, it's going to make a copy of the whole image. Well, just for the oscilloscope that's just loaded one time is okay, but let's say the sample player is going to have another mask and have like 10 sample players on the screen, just wasting memory. So there's really no need for that. So, okay, you have now the mask image. Now let's go back to the constructor of the screen. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. And I have to create the custom component and also add the image there. Mask image. Here on the constructor of the Wusik module, mask image. Let's copy this so I don't have to type again. Someone once said that it was impressive to see me typing because I use a lot of the keyboard. I learned this from a cousin actually. He knew all the key shortcuts of Word around around the year 1995, I think, Word 95. And he knew all the shortcuts. It was very impressive because we get so used to using the mouse that we forgot that there are other ways to do things. Really much quicker to go from the keyboard or what I'm doing. So let me get in fact data files, mask image files, and I'll just get the mask oscilloscope. And I pass a reference to it because I need a pointer to it. Create a pointer for you. So it should be okay now. I'm just going to compile run just to see if it doesn't crash or does anything weird, just in case. Then I'm going to create a short code for the masking process. Actually, I'm going to change the code that oh, I put PNG 2 times. Let's see, where did it? Let's put in PNG 2 times. Didn't put PNG there. That's weird. Let me check. Where's the definition of this guy? That's weird. Station X inserts default oscilloscope mask. It's put several things here twice. That's why I like to test things before I continue. I'm going to take a look at this. Let me take a look at the load image code. I'm pretty sure that's the one. grabbing things up. Oh yes, because it's okay. I see what's going on. I don't. I don't go like that. I go like this. But I want to check where this is defined. Okay, I see here. It checks for the two folders. First for the regular skin folder and from the skin sources. Now, that's okay, I guess. It's not the best thing in the world, but if it works, it works. Should be quick. And it's just going to be like 6 or 7 files. Not even that, I think, just 5. So it's not a problem. Let's see, 5. Yeah, so it's going to be 5 files. What is this guy doing here? Super. Oh, dual oscillator. Fix that. Oscillator. I can copy this from the drawable oscillator because they go on the same place. Let's see. There's something I forgot to do. Oh, I messed up the file. I forgot this. Sometimes you can literally lose a whole day of work because of something in a really strange area of the code, and you keep looking for it and you just can't find it. Oscilloscope is not there. Ah, because it's in idle. Yes, that's correct. Because it takes a few seconds to go into idle mode, and when it goes into idle mode, it doesn't refresh the screen anymore. Just to save the CPU from a few cycles. Already looks good. The mask is just a bit of nitpicking from my part. So it should be in idle by now. It's using the last graphic. But I need to change that so it exits the idle mode every time you move the mouse over the interface. That's one thing I have to worry about too. So it's loading my mask file. And now I want to check where is my process. This guy, juice image to OLC, unload coder sprite. That's the pixel engine. I use in a lot of places. So I'm going to change it a bit. Where is the declaration of it? I need it. Weird. Is it? Oh, on this on the engine itself. Okay, I see. So I'm going to create that, and I'm going to do this small change to it. So I can add to the code check if the mask is passed along, it's going to use the mask 2 for the file. So always goes from left to right. So I can go and check the masking as a run from the left. Just have to think about the, because you have the left mask, pink line, white mask. Check this guy here. If this guy is not null pointer, I'm going to do one code. Otherwise, I just use this straight code, direct code, let's say. So let's mask left true. Now I'm going to mask position 0. Left mask 0. Pink line 1. Right mask 2. If mask position 0, we do one thing. I'm going to check some water. We check if get big, so thread is higher 0 integer 0. We move mask position to 1. This can actually I can do this. This is not going to go here. Go for the row actually. Oops. Mask image not pointer, and this position equals 0. And to have a pink line, we move the mask position to the pink line. If mask's position equals 1 or pointer, so 1 as long as is on the pink line, going to draw and break this. It's one pink and the red can could be black or it could be transparent. So that's one thing I have to worry about. And here too, because that's a problem. I have to check red, get the pixel. And get blue 0. Now it's a pink line for sure. And if it's a pink line, but the red 0 or the blue is higher than 0, mass position is 2. That's that's pretty much it, I guess. I have to test this, but it should be okay. So when you're mass position 0, we check for everything from the left. We need to do a check first for the pixel at, instead of image, we're going to go to the mask image, this pixel there. So if that pixel we can get blue, so it's an empty area. Then we can draw the pixel, otherwise it's just going to ignore leaving the empty area. This is going to be hard to test because the oscilloscope moves a lot. Maybe just going to put a big red blob as the resulting oscilloscope data. Here, image cell. It's going to go like this: graphics, G, just fill all colors red. So that's going to help me out. Otherwise, I'm not going to see anything. So if mask is 0, it's just going to go to left to right. If it's on the pink line, it's going to write everything until it exits the pink line, which is not this code. This code is wrong actually. So let's see it, look again. So if it's red is higher than 0 and blue is 0, that's a pink line. So we are on a pink line. Now I have to measure it. If the positioning is higher than the image get width minus the mask image get width. And I need a positioning to the pink line. So zero. It's pink line positioning. Then mask positioning equals 2. Okay. Positioning equals PP. PPX plus 1. So as soon as we hit the pink line, I start the pink line positioning. Then as soon as the positioning of the image goes higher than the image minus the, not the mask, not this one, minus the pink line position. Yeah, I think that's correct. And the mask position is 2. And now here I can go like this. And as usual, I can just put an R here. Mask equals 2. Then the mask image of this one. But I have to positioning this. We could reuse this value here. But as soon as it hits the max positioning 2, going to be incline positioning. And then if mask position equals 2, mask position moves along. I think the logic looks okay. It's a bit more complicated because I'm using just one file for the whole thing from the left and the right sides. But it should work okay. But there's no other way to test than just compiling and go see if it is working. First here is disabled, because if it's not disabled, the page up and page down and home and buttons doesn't work. Fail it. Okay, let's see. Okay. For definition, well, what? Oh. Oh yes, this should not be. And there's another thing too, I forgot to actually use it. So it should be on the widgets. Image mask, mask image. So if it's going to be a null pointer, it's not going to be used. But all the custom files will require that because it's on the constructor, so it will be okay. Okay, that's doing nothing, basically. And it's not even showing the right color, which could be red. Just for the sake, let's try without it. It would be a red square instead. Unless I did something wrong that not see. Oh, there's the one. Okay. So let's go back to the code and see what's going on. Here we are. So let's see again. We have the mask positioning, the pink line positioning. Mask position is not null pointer. Okay, this is wrong, but it's also correct. Should be writing at least the left area correctly. I'm going to have to rethink it. Should give me a black blob. So let me do by parts instead. If it's not to 0. Okay. Mass position. This one, I'm not going to change this. Just going to worry about the left area. Worry about that. Mask position equals 0. Looks kind of okay. What I'm doing just some logic stuff. It'll be drawing at least the left side correctly. Okay, now it's drawing something at least. But it's all wrong. Okay, it starts with the mass position is 0. Never change that. Let's try to see what happens. Um, Creating the decal correctly. So I'm checking the mask image, then a pixel, and checking if the blue is 0. I'm actually making a big mess here because the mask image is smaller than the whole thing. Just in case if mask get width. So it's lower than so X. Just so at least it doesn't crash the code while I test this out. Should be okay. Otherwise, in the end, I'm just going to use one file. Well, at least it's recognizing the start, the left part, and then the right part. But it's still not doing it correctly. This file is rather large. Should be at least showing correctly. Oh, of course, it's going through the whole file doing it. But she don't understand why it's not this following. Not following anything. I'm going to use the transparency instead. Where to load with on the transparent positioning withdrawals. It's really not working, so I'm going to scrap this idea. Really no good. It's only going to give me problems. So let's go back here and create just a big image instead and have it doing it the wrong way, but I can fix it. The black still not inverting my selection. I don't know why. It's just weird. And when I hit delete, it's deleting by portions. I don't know why it's doing that. That could be part of the problem itself. Close everything. Open again. And I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to go back. I'm not going to use a smaller file. It's just much to worry about. And I don't know why it's not loading the things out correctly. Float alpha, which is 0 to 1. When it's opaque, it's higher than 0 actually. Well, let me try this just one more time for the sake of trying. Okay, loading. Yeah, the same result. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm going to try this next time. Take a short break.